Snow White, A1 level. Once upon a time, long, long ago, in a far and peaceful land, there is a very big and very beautiful castle where a kind queen lives with her husband, the king, and many people in the kingdom love her because she is gentle, patient, and always kind to everyone. Every day, the queen walks in the castle gardens, speaks to the people, helps the poor, and smiles softly, and the people feel safe and happy when they see her. One cold winter morning, when the land is quiet and the trees are covered with white snow, the queen sits alone near a large window in her room and looks outside while sewing slowly and thinking about her life. The snow outside is very white and very clean, and the queen feels calm as she looks at it for a long time and dreams of having a child to love and protect. Suddenly, the needle hurts her finger, and 3 small drops of red blood fall gently onto the white snow on the window, and the queen looks at the beautiful colors with surprise. She says softly and slowly that she wishes to have a child with skin white like snow, lips red like blood, and hair black like the dark night sky. After some time passes, the queen has a baby girl who is very small, very quiet, and very beautiful, and the queen names her Snow White because her skin is as white as snow. The king and queen are very happy, and the whole castle celebrates the birth of Snow White with music, food, and joy. Sadly, after a few years, the good queen becomes very sick, and even though everyone tries to help her, she dies, and the castle becomes silent and full of sadness. Snow White is still very young and does not understand why her mother does not come back, and the king feels very lonely and sad. After some years pass, the king marries another woman who is very beautiful on the outside, but very cold and cruel inside her heart. The new queen wears beautiful dresses, looks at herself all the time, and thinks only about her beauty and power. She has a magic mirror in her room, and every morning she stands in front of it and asks slowly and proudly, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always answers that the queen is the fairest, and this makes her smile and feel proud. Years pass, and Snow White grows up in the castle, becoming a young girl who is kind, polite, gentle, and loved by everyone who meets her. She helps the servants, speaks kindly to animals, and smiles often, and people feel happy when she is near them. One day, when Snow White becomes older and more beautiful, the queen asks the mirror the same question, but this time the mirror answers differently. The mirror says slowly that Snow White is now the fairest in the land, and when the queen hears this, her face becomes dark with anger. Her heart fills with jealousy, hate, and fear because she cannot accept that someone is more beautiful than her. The queen decides that Snow White must die because she wants to be the only one who is beautiful and powerful. She calls a hunter and orders him to take Snow White deep into the forest and kill her, then bring proof that she is dead. The hunter feels afraid but obeys the queen, and he takes Snow White into the forest while Snow White trusts him and walks quietly. As they walk deeper into the forest, Snow White feels scared, and when the hunter stops, she begins to cry and ask why they are there. The hunter sees her tears, hears her soft voice, and feels great sadness in his heart, and he cannot hurt her. He tells Snow White to run away quickly, never come back to the castle, and hide far away where the queen cannot find her. Snow White runs through the forest alone, crying, breathing fast, and feeling very afraid as the trees become darker and closer. She walks for many hours, feeling tired, hungry, cold, and lonely, and the forest seems endless and silent. When night begins to fall, Snow White sees a small house with light inside, and she slowly walks toward it with hope. She opens the door carefully and sees a tiny house with small chairs, small plates, and small beds, and she understands that small people live there. Snow White eats a little food, drinks some water, cleans the house with care, and lies down on the beds because she is very tired. In the evening, the 7 dwarfs come home from work in the mine, singing softly as they walk together. They see their clean house and Snow White sleeping, and they feel surprised, curious, and confused. Snow White wakes up slowly and tells them her long and sad story, and the dwarfs listen carefully and feel very sorry for her. They allow Snow White to stay with them and tell her to be careful and never open the door to strangers. Snow White lives with the dwarfs and feels safe, and every day she cleans the house, cooks food, sings songs, and waits for them to come home. The days pass slowly and peacefully, and Snow White feels happy for the first time in a long time. One day, the queen asks the mirror again who the fairest of all is, and the mirror tells her that Snow White is still alive. The queen becomes very angry and decides to kill Snow White herself, using magic and poison. She makes a red apple with poison inside and dresses like an old woman so Snow White cannot recognize her. When the old woman arrives, Snow White is alone, and the woman offers her the apple with a gentle voice. Snow White hesitates, but takes one bite, and the poison works immediately. She falls to the ground and does not move. When the dwarfs return, they cry and feel deep sadness, and they place Snow White in a glass coffin. They visit her every day, hoping and praying. One day, a prince passes through the forest, sees Snow White, and feels love in his heart. He kisses her gently, the poison breaks, and Snow White wakes up slowly. They are very happy, and Snow White leaves with the prince. The evil queen disappears forever. Snow White lives happily, safely, and peacefully for the rest of her life. The end.